Hi guys, today I'm doing an overview of the HD1 Half rack. So I'm going to start with talking about the frame construction of the rack. So we use a 70 by 70 millimeter tube, which is 3 millimeters thick. So that's the wall thickness of the steel. So that gives you quite a strong structure because the tubes themselves, only being two of them, need to be as strong as you can get them on a half rack, especially one that's as tall as this one. This one's about 2.3 meters high. If you adjust the pull-up bar to the maximum height, it's going to be about 2.4 meters. So you want to have a nice sturdy vertical tube to give you the support, otherwise it's going to be wobbling around too much. Just on this pull-up bar, you've got 4 height options. So when you bolt this together, you can mount the pull-up bar where it's shown, which is about 2.3 meters high. You can slide it up one position, just use 2 out of the 3 bolt hole positions. That gives you about 2.4 meters in height. You can bring it down one position, or you can flip the whole bar over if you want to, and that brings it down to about 2 meters. So if you've got a low ceiling, then this rack can accommodate that, so you're not going to be hitting your head on the ceiling when you're doing pull-ups. Just bear in mind though that your ceiling height still needs to be at least 2.35 to get the vertical tubes in, because that's the height of those tubes. Okay, so with the J-hooks on this rack, we constructed these out of a one-piece welded section. These are a piece of steel plate. We've got a support gusset at the bottom. We've got a galvanized pin. We've done that so that as the rack gets used over time, that pin stays looking good, because you don't have a powder coated finish on there which will just wear away and start looking a bit second hand after a while. So these rubber pads are actually replaceable, so you can change those out if you want to. Same goes for the optional spotter bars. These are an option that you can choose in the shopping cart on our website if you want to, but they are optional, so you don't have to get those unless you're doing 1RM or powerlifting. I probably wouldn't necessarily get those. Okay, so we've got plate storage on the back of this rack. We've got 2 plate storage pins, quite useful for putting up to about 5 or 6 bumper plates on there on each side. Great for weighing the rack down as well if you're doing a lot of kipping, suspension trainer work. Having said that, the floor tubes on this rack are pretty long. They're about 1.33 meters each side, so you actually do have plenty of front to back stability. Because of that, it's very, very hard to tip this rack over. So at the bottom, this is one of the main features, I guess, of the frame with this rack, is that we've got a welded bracket at the bottom, but not only that, we've got support sections on here. So these support sections are welded in, and the plate at the bottom wraps around both sides. So you can see that this thick piece of plate goes around both sides. That gives you a very, very strong joint. We've also got 5 M12 bolts. There's 2 on the top, and those actually lock these 2 plates together. So this plate is really well locked in to this top section of the floor tube, so very hard to get any real movement in that joint. The only way we can make that any better really would be to weld it, but then we couldn't put it in a box and ship it out. So we've done what we think is about the best possible joint system for a half rack. Okay, so that about gives you the basic rundown of the rack. Got plenty of position options with the J-hooks. You've got optional spotters. You've got 3 or 4, actually 4 height positions for the pull-up bar, so it accommodates different height users and different height ceilings. And you also have one more option that I haven't discussed, and that is the core trainer. So you can actually add a core trainer landmine as an option on our website, and you can attach that on either the front or the back. Okay guys, that about wraps it up. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.